7-6. Today we're going to be talking about percent of change. So what is a percent of change? So basically it is a ratio that compares the change in quantity to the original amount. So basically when you see the word ratio, it means yes, we're going to be dealing with division and fractions. And so basically in that fraction, we have the percent of change is the amount of change. So that basically just means that it'll give you prices over time or numbers over time. You're going to have to figure out, did it increase or decrease? And if so, by how much? So that how much it increased or decreased, that's going to be your numerator. And then the denominator is going to be the original amount. So an example would look like this. You would look at in 1981 the gas price was $1.30 per gallon, and in 2007 the gas price was $2.85 per gallon. So we want to find the percent of change. So the first thing we want to realize is, are we going up or down? In this case we're going up, so we're going to have a percent increase. So how much did we increase? So we have to kind of subtract them, and we'll figure out that we went up by $1.55. So that's going to be my numerator because that is the change. And then my denominator is going to be my original amount. In this case, when we're talking about time, we're talking about the oldest amount. So that's what we're talking about with original. So the 1981, that's going to be our original in this case. So we'll put $1.55 over $1.30. Okay. So now we have our ratio. We set it up. So then the last step is you just literally divide it out. You're going to get some sort of decimal, and then you're going to move your decimal two places of right to find, or to the right to find the percent. So remember that we're finding the percent of change, not just the decimal of change or the part of change. We want to find it in percent form. So we're going to have to move our decimal two places to the right in order to be correct. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at a few examples. Look at number 1. It says find the percent of change from 10 yards to 13 yards. So the first thing I want to look at is, are we increasing or decreasing? And in this case, we're going from 10 to 13, so we're increasing. So we know that it's going to be a percent increase. So now we need to go ahead and figure out how much do we go up by. So to go from 10 to 13, we went up by 3. So my change is 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it over the original amount, which is 10. So we have 3 over 10, but we're not done. So I'm going to divide 3 divided by 10, and I'm going to get 0.3. And I'm still not done because we want to change it to a percent. So I'm going to move it 2 places to the right. So I'm going to have a 30% increase. So this would be a complete answer, a 30% increase. Let's go ahead and look at number 2. It says find the percent of change from $20 to $15. So the first thing I realized is that we're going from 20 to 15, so we're decreasing. And we're decreasing by $5. So that means 5 is going to be in the numerator because that is our change. And then we're going to put it over the original, over 20. Now as soon as you divide 5 divided by 20, you're going to get 0.25. But remember, we're not done because we're finding a percent. So I'm going to move it 2 places to the right, and I'm going to write a 25% decrease. And that is a complete answer. Alright, let's look at number 3. It says, which of the following represents the greatest percent of change? So they gave us 3 different examples. So what we have to do is find the percent of change in each and figure out which one is the greatest change. Okay? So letter A, it says savings account that had $500 that now has $470. So the first thing we realize is that we're decreasing, and we're decreasing by $30. So my change is 30, and my original amount is 500. So we have 30 over 500, and once we divide out, we're going to get 0.06. So now we need to go ahead and change it to a percent. So I'm going to move it 2 places to the right, and I'm going to get 6%. And we are decreasing here. So 6% decrease. Letter B, it says MP3 player that stored 15 gigabytes that now stores 30. So I realized I'm going up, and I'm going up by by 15. So my 15 is my numerator, and 15 is going to be my denominator as well because we went up by 15, but our original number is 15 as well. So if we do 15 divided by 15, we're going to get 1. And then if we move our decimal 2 places to the right, we're going to have 100% increase here. Alright, let's look at letter C. It says a plant that grew from 3 to 8 inches. So first of all, I'm realizing that I'm going up, and I'm going up by 5 inches. So 5 is going to be my numerator. And my original number is 3. So I'm going to have 5 divided by 3, which is going to give me 1.6, about 1.67. And then I'm going to go ahead and change it to a percent. So I'm going to move it 2 places to the right. So I'm going to have 167% increase. So now I go back to my original question. It says which one has the greatest percent of change? So that would have to be letter C. So C is going to be my greatest. Alright, if you have any questions, go ahead and rewind and watch the lesson again. It's pretty simple. You just have to find the change in the two numbers, put that on top, then put the original number on the bottom, divide them out, and move your decimal 2 places to the right, and you'll make a percent. And that's pretty much all you have to do. If you have any questions, bring them tomorrow in class. So let's go ahead and do some on your own questions.
Alright, you have 4 problems to do for me. Number 1, you're going from 30 inches to 24 inches. Find the percent of change. Number 2, you're going from 20.5 meters to 35.5 meters. Number 3, you're going from $126 to $150. And number 4, you're going from $75.80 to $94.75. Alright, good luck. We'll see what you get tomorrow.